Reading, good reading. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a garden right where you people are standing.
Okay. Get out of the way.
What I do
Isn't this great?
I take a piece of cardboard, which I have wet to make it soft, and we lay it on the ground. Take the tape off. I'm going to try to. I got some trouble. I won't mess with it.
You want some help?
Yeah, sure. So it's going to get this old tape off because it won't degrade.
So you start with some wet cardboard about the size of the space you want to make into a garden. Isn't that just about the most cool thing you've ever heard of?
As seen on TV. Here we go. One more. The next thing we need is compost. This is finished compost. Real good stuff.
You made that?
Part of it.
That is gorgeous.
Well, if you have to buy it, what kind would you buy?
Mushroom.
Mushroom compost.
And where do you find that?
At any nursery. Well, any good nursery.
And it's mushroom compost?
Yes.
They have it down the road at Chattooga Gardens. And Scotland Yard down the other direction also carries it. And there's some mixtures on the market that are compost plus soil amendments.
Soil what?
Amendments. That's called Daddy Pete.
Dad loves that.
Then if you have bowls, you can get it even one notch higher that has little bits of gravel in it that bowls don't like because it hurts their little fingers.
That reminds me, I owe you $14.
Yeah, John and I have this contest to see who can get rid of their bowls using the most elaborate, most expensive method. So I gave him a bottle of, which is what Jeff Zonner suggested, and it's castor oil from Whole Foods. It was like $14. So I don't know what he's done yet with that. Okay, what's next? Here we go.
This is leaf mold, like what the things that we took out of the little vacuum cleaner.
And is that just bits of paper? Newspaper?
Shredded newspaper?
Yeah, I also do put the newspaper in there with it.
Is there an easy way to shred it, or you just mix it all up and the machine eats it?
Vacuum cleaner.
All right.
I've also got a little 3 horsepower shredder at home.
So you're putting that down about maybe 6 inches thick, the top dressing?
I got about 2 inches or inch of compost and maybe 4 inches of the other. It doesn't even have to be uniform. The worms, the word is getting out. Fresh compost.
Can you put it like in a frame that way, or?
You don't need a frame, but if you want to put it in a frame, you can put it in a frame. You can put it in a round. You can make any design you want. Yeah, this is for when you garden at your home. This is the way you should be doing your garden beds too. I'm telling you, there will not be any weeds in here.
And you put that right on top of the grass. You didn't even care.
Don't care about the grass.
Wow.
Kill the grass.
What if you
Or
weeds?
I guess grass is a weed. You want to amend the soil around them.
Put compost on top. Soil is built from the top, from the bottom up. And so worms will come up and get it and take it down, and it starts down there and comes up, and the roots will find the nutrients.
Still use the mushroom compost for what she just asked you?
Use the mushroom compost like mulch, like this. You could put a piece of cardboard around your plant if it's a woody plant.
Oh, okay, you're saying do the same thing, but just put it around the established plant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I can pick it up, and we'll get rid of the last of it.
So you never hoe?
Never hoe. I got one though. But the deal is like, you're still going to get occasional blow-in crabgrass or something like that.
Y'all, look at how tall that is. It's just about a foot, 9 inches tall.
Slug bait.
Settle down, right? Slug bait.
Slug bait.
Necessary.
Where do you get that? Is that like bug getter or whatever they call that?
This is Slugget, I think was the name of this brand.
So where do you find that?
You can get it at Chattooga Gardens.
If y'all have noticed, we have slugs that are about 1.5 inches long that are yellow. They're creatures from Mars.
I go back here, cut a little hole in my cardboard. I put this guy right down on it, right there.
Are his roots down through the cardboard?
It's sitting on right now. It's sitting on some crabgrass.
Okay, but so the roots do go through the cardboard.
So you made a hole in the cardboard.
Yeah, I take my knife here, little hole.
Is this recipe good for any season?
Well, this is anytime you can do this, anytime that you feel like it. This is called red snail. It's a nice lettuce. It seems to do well here.
Did you start those seeds?
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you move them from your tray to these little containers? How did you do this to make them into plants?
I sowed them in those 72s.
72s were those little bitty ones?
Yeah, the one I got over there. I'll show you.
And it doesn't matter if they get kind of disappear down in that hole, huh?
Just as long as I got somebody up there to do the work.
And the grass that you're cutting down into is not going to come over there and choke them out.
That grass is going to have to really grow to get to the top.
Okay.
We'll see. Come back.
See.
I promise I'm not going to weed it unless it has. Oh, we have these horrible, this horrible grass that grows in. That's ranunculus. Ranunculus is the scourge of Cashiers, North Carolina.
Right there with Japanese knotweed.
Yeah.
Is that the one with the nasty thorns and the eggplant-looking flowers?
The knotweed has pretty pink flowers that drape over.
Yeah, and it hurts when you pull it up. All the way down to the roots it has thorns.
So what next? How about some broccoli?
Yay!
This is the acid test. If we can grow broccoli and keep the pest off. Oh, that's another thing. We grow gardens in other places for people, and where they haven't put as much energy into the preparation. They have diseases and pests. At our house, we have virtually none.
You know how those little white moths you brought?
You hear these guys talking about organic gardening and how you don't have pests? It's the truth. And, you know, I'm one of these people that I don't believe anything.
We have like rabbits that could eat, you know, the largest lettuce in 2 seconds, and so I've invested in some chicken wire. And John, will they jump over the chicken wire into my little new garden here?
Nah, I don't think so. Unless you
Rabbits
got
jump?
jumping rabbits. Buddy, we have had rabbits this year. Gosh.
We had one this morning.
We've
Do
really
you
got-
find, I've been putting cayenne on my things that I think rabbits are eating, and I think it helps. Do you think I'm...
I think you're right.
Okay.
Cayenne pepper. Great
Oh, I
idea.
see a worm.
Look,
Yay!
the word's out.
So is he a red wiggler? What is he?
This is a garden worm.
Ah. So he came with the compost.
He was in the leaves, I think.
But both of them do the job.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the red wigglers are composting worms. They eat vegetables and they don't go down in the ground. The value of this guy is that he will burrow down into the ground and he'll make a hole. A little Swiss chard, maybe.
Yay!
What about 6x3?
Gonna keep the Dargans and vegetables all winter.
I did not bring any kale.
Well, happen to have a couple of thousand growing. So see, I can take those little baby kale that you saw and transplant them into something that's in a bigger container.
And I finished gardening and I'm going to put it down for the winter, come back next May to plant it. What would you do this right at the end of the growing season?
Do it now.
Do after you've done all your crops.
If you want to start a garden for next spring, today is the best day to start. And then just add the leaves when they come down, and let this be working. Let the worms be doing their thing. Let the paper decompose. You don't have to use paper; it's a little unsightly. But get it started. This is a perfect season.
But after you've harvested everything, what you say?
No, heck, go ahead and just put it on. The stuff is shot now anyway.
Okay.
And just put it down on the ground so it'll start.
Okay.
So you don't pull out the old plants.
You don't even have to pull the old plants out. I would pull them out if they got mildew.
And you're never adding fertilizer. All your nutrients are coming from your compost and your worm.
No, ma'am. I'm gonna put some organic.
Oh, you are? Okay.
And you know, I showed most of y'all my compost tea maker. You could put the compost tea on this too.
And the worm that I'll tell you in just a second.
Did you say Daddy Pete's is a good
Oh yeah.
Daddy
Mushroom.
Daddy Pete with mushroom.
They
with
don't-
mushroom?
Their cow manure is not good because he doesn't compost it enough and it stinks.
So are you saying don't get it?
They're-
Don't get the
Cow is
cow manure.
I am totally against using manure compost. Because
It's right there between your feet.
Interesting. Now, why is that?
well, I mean,
For anything.
it's sort of scared of the bacteria that's associated with that type of material. And
If it's really well composted and gone through heat, is it okay?
yes, and if it's old. But I mean, buying it commercially, you don't know what that guy is doing.
So you don't even line up your rows.
This is a free form.
I'm sorry, I might have known it.
So y'all, mushroom compost is very different from cow manure compost. Could you share with them why it is different?
This mushroom compost is basically a media that mushrooms has been grown in. It's peat and the mycelium. You remember we were talking about mushrooms are a fungus, and they make that mycelium, and that mycelium is the breaking down of carbon-based organic matter. And what it does is they turn it from wood into nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Then when they die, their body is full of this stuff, and it's in the soil. Good stuff.
So I've got a huge thing of dead chicken of the woods, and it's up in the woods. I harvested last year, didn't come back, but there's a whole bunch of it dead. Would that be good to grab it and throw it in? It's all white and icky now.
The spores are probably gone out of it by now. That's
Yeah.
the flower.
So that would be a good thing to use.
What is that name?
This is
It's
one
a
of
big
these.
mushroom, an orange mushroom goes around a tree, and it was huge last year, and this year didn't come back, but it's all dead and white. Is that and, organic fertilizer? Sitting around
That
by
Yes,
a
ma'am.
tree. Oh, it was.
What are you putting around those plants again?
It was huge.
This is the an organic, just an organic multi-balance fertilizer. You can get them. I can't remember the name of it.
No way to mistake it.
What's the name of this stuff?
So it's pelletized, but you all see it's very brown. It's not bright green. And I want to say a little commercial. Keep in mind that the ones that are bright green and dyed that you see a lot, that are maybe one of the companies, Scott, sells a lot of that. Peter's Plant Pleaser. Those are they're inorganic, and so they are very they are like nuclear weapons against your
They're toxic to the fungus.
mycelia and your earthworms. Those don't like it, and so you're ruining your soil chemistry and the fabric by using these colored inorganics. And I would go for compost
Miracle-Gro is
anytime.
So you put a lot of that on there, and you don't even care that it got right on the plants.
No, that's not going to burn anything. And then now,
Is that plant tone? Is that
Magic
plant tone?
juice.
this is worm juice from my my worm bin. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it on half the garden, and we're going to see which half grows better.
This
How exactly do you
is
get worm?
magic.
If you come to the house, I'll show you. I'll tell you right now, in case you don't, is that I got all these worms growing in this bin, a metal bin up there, and I got it tilted a little bit, and I drilled a hole down at this end.
Okay.
And any fluid that comes off goes into that.
So you're not adding water to make that; they're making that.
Yep. And there you go. Gardening is easy.
Y'all, let's applaud John McCarley. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Almost forgot.
Now we're going to put the icing on, called H2O. This is great. So y'all come back and see it. I'll put a little fence around it because I know my new bunnies are going to want to eat this.
This is, I mean, if you garden like this, it makes it a whole lot better than having to go out there and fight weeds. That's depressing.
So you're not going to the weeds won't come through the cardboard.
The weeds will not come through the cardboard.
So all this black plastic